Пиздец! Пизда! Чисто...
The Russian journalist who protested Moscow's invasion of Ukraine during a news broadcast has now been accused of being a British spy. The accusation comes from Russia's state-owned channel, One Network. Marina Ovsyannikova had barged onto the set, as we all saw, in an evening broadcast, holding a poster saying, "No war." The sign she held up, besides a newsreader, also said, "Stop the war, don't believe the propaganda, they are lying to you here." Russian officials accused her of staging an unauthorized demonstration. She was subsequently detained, fined 30,000 ruble and then freed pending possible further prosecution. She also turned down a French offer of asylum. And then a week after the incident, the head of Channel One's news division, Kirill Klemenov, has now accused the producer of colluding with the UK to betray her country.
Hours after Russia's attack on Ukraine began, 5 German warships set sail for Latvia to help protect the most vulnerable part of NATO's eastern flank. Russia's invasion has propelled the alliance into what Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg has called a new normal. It looks a lot like the past. NATO was founded in 1949 to defend against the Soviet threat. Now a new Iron Curtain could fall across Europe. NATO needs to ensure its members are not behind it if it does. NATO has expanded eastwards since the 1990s, bringing in former Soviet states such as Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, where these French troops disembarked last week. A single overland corridor connects them to the rest of NATO territory, and it's squeezed between the heavily armed Russian enclave of Kaliningrad and Moscow ally Belarus. An emboldened Russia could encircle the Baltic states and cut them off from the rest of the alliance.
Rescuers in China were scouring the remnants of a disastrous plane crash in southern Guangxi province, searching for victims with no sign of any survivors on Tuesday. There were 132 people on board when the aircraft went down the day before, a China Eastern Airlines flight from Kunming to Guangzhou that suddenly plunged and crashed into heavily forested mountains. It's China's first commercial jet crash since 2010, and investigators are now searching for the Boeing 737-800 jet's flight recorders to figure out what went wrong. State media reported that China Eastern and 2 of its subsidiaries have grounded their fleet of 737-800 planes, while other Chinese airlines have yet to do so, according to Chinese aviation data provider Flightmaster. Analyst Robert Spingarn says the jet shouldn't be confused with the 737 MAX, which has been grounded in China for over 3 years, following fatal crashes in 2018 and 2019.
The images were heartbreaking. 5 years ago, thousands killed, hundreds of thousands forced to flee to neighboring Bangladesh. The stories they told of indiscriminate killing, rape, and arson. Now the United States has given a name to what the world witnessed: genocide and crimes against humanity, promising $1 million to help investigators gather the evidence.
Efforts are moving forward, not only at the International Court of Justice, but also through the International Criminal Court and through the domestic courts of Argentina in a case brought under universal jurisdiction. The day will come when those responsible for these appalling acts will have to answer for them.
The clock is ticking for Taiwan's stockpile of vaccines. According to the CECC, 720,000 doses are due to expire by the end of March. They will be destroyed if they are not used.
To drive up vaccine uptake, the CCC may offer boosters to teenagers aged 12 and 17. It will convene a panel of experts this Thursday to decide on the policy.
The 27th round of vaccination opened on Monday. Only 148,000 people are registered for this current round, accounting for less than 15% of eligible recipients. To boost vaccine coverage, the central government is offering incentives worth up to 500 NT. But even so, supply is set to far outpace demand.
Zambian former Justice Minister Given Lubinda was arrested on Monday. The Anti-Corruption Commission has charged the acting chairman of Zambia's main opposition party on 5 counts, including corruption, which involves more than $500,000. The charges relate to property belonging to him and several depositing bank accounts that are suspected to proceed from criminal activity. Lubinda's arrest is the latest twist in a series of prosecutions of high-profile officials from the previous executive, which was defeated in the August 2021 elections.